So you finally stack some crypto, your portfolio's looking juicy, you're feeling like Warren Buffett, then it hits you, all your crypto is just sitting on a phone app, or worse, an exchange, and suddenly fear sets in. So you start looking into how to protect your crypto, you hear about hardware wallets, everyone says they're the safest option, but they seem like a pain in the butt, and that raises the big question, do you actually need one? Well, I actually test these wallets for a living, so in this video, we're breaking down who actually needs a hardware wallet, what they do and don't protect you from, the biggest mistakes people make with them, plus a few tips no one talks about but will totally change how you use your wallet. First, let's clear up what a crypto wallet actually does because it's probably not what you think. A lot of people think that wallets hold crypto because you'll hear people say things like get your crypto into a wallet, but that's not actually how it works. Your crypto doesn't live in apps, wallets, or even on exchanges. It only exists on the blockchain, which is like a big digital receipt of transactions and who owns what, but that's a rabbit hole for another video. But if your crypto lives on the blockchain, then what's a wallet for? Well, just think of your wallet like a portal for accessing your crypto on the blockchain. So whether it's a crypto exchange, a wallet app, or a hardware wallet, they're all just tools used to access your blockchain account. But there are two main differences between all these tools. One, who holds the keys, and two, how well they protect them. So when you set up a wallet, whether it's an app on your phone or a hardware wallet, it generates a key called a master key, as well as a human readable version called a seed phrase. Now, your seed phrase is like the master password to your entire blockchain account. Whoever has access to your seed phrase controls all the crypto in your account. So when we talk about securing our crypto, what we're actually securing is a seed phrase, and that's what wallets hold. Not the crypto, but the keys to your crypto. But here's the scary part. It doesn't matter if someone gets a hold of your phone with the crypto wallet app on it, or even your hardware wallet. The only thing they need to steal your crypto is your seed phrase, and that's why it's so important to choose the best wallet to secure that phrase. But why aren't the other options like wallet apps and crypto exchanges secure? Well, it comes down to two things: ownership and exposure. If you want full control over your crypto, you need to own the key that controls it. But on platforms like Coinbase, Binance, and Robinhood, for example, you don't own the keys, those platforms do, so you're basically just borrowing access to their wallet, which means they can freeze your funds, lock your account, or just disappear with your crypto, and this is why you hear horror stories of people losing access to what they thought was their crypto. And yeah, you would hope that a multi-billion-dollar crypto exchange would have world-class security, but that's not always the case. For example, the CEO of Bybit, which is a popular crypto exchange, signed a bad transaction that resulted in $1.5 billion worth of crypto being stolen from the exchange. That's an expensive accident to have, and that's why a lot of people don't trust keeping their crypto on these exchanges. But if you decide to move your crypto off of an exchange onto a wallet where you control the keys, just know that you are now solely responsible for protecting those keys. So what crypto wallets let you control your keys? Well, popular wallet apps like MetaMask, Exodus, Trust Wallet, and Phantom all let you own the keys to your crypto, but they're not the safest wallets for storing the keys. That's because these wallet apps, also known as hot wallets, live on your internet-connected device like your phone or computer, which are constantly exposed to online threats like malware, hacks, and phishing scams, which are all things that can lead to you losing your crypto. And it's easier now than ever to get malware onto your phone or computer. Clicking a bad ad, visiting a bad website, opening up a malicious email, these are all things that could result in you downloading malware without you even realizing it, and then this malware can eventually steal the keys that are used to access your crypto. That's where hardware wallets come in. These are physical devices that generate, hold, and manage your keys offline in a secure environment, away from all these online threats, and that's why they're often referred to as cold wallets. But here's where people still mess up and lose their crypto. Just because it's secured by a hardware wallet doesn't mean that you can't get scammed. I've seen some pretty advanced investors lose all their crypto even while using a hardware wallet. So how does a hardware wallet protect your crypto? Aside from keeping your keys offline in a secure environment, any reputable hardware wallet will come with several key features, including a device-specific PIN or password, biometrics, a self-destruct mechanism, and a secure chip built to stop both hackers and physical tampering. But it's also what they don't have that makes them more secure than a crypto exchange or hot wallet, and that is no internet connection. But wait a minute, if a hardware wallet doesn't have an internet connection, then how does it talk to the blockchain to allow you to manage your crypto? Well, it uses something called a companion app, which is just an app that you use alongside the wallet. But there's a massive difference between a wallet app, aka hot wallet, and a companion app that you use with your hardware wallet. With a hot wallet, the key that's used to access your crypto is stored in the app software, which is always online and exposed to all of those threats that could compromise your wallet. With a hardware wallet, the app is just a messenger. It doesn't store the key. So even if your phone or computer had malware or someone was watching your screen, it's not going to affect your hardware wallet. So when you transact using a hardware wallet, the app communicates with the blockchain to prepare the transaction details. Then it sends that data to your hardware wallet. Your hardware wallet signs a transaction inside the device using your key, but only after you approve it, and that key never leaves the device. Once signed, the transaction goes back to the app, which broadcasts it to the blockchain where the transaction is completed. So at no point is your key ever exposed, and no other type of crypto wallet offers this kind of protection for your crypto, which is why hardware wallets are often said to be a vault for your crypto. But just like a vault won't protect your money if you invite a robber in, a hardware wallet won't protect your crypto if you give scammers access to it, which is what a lot of people do, obviously without knowing it. And this is probably the most important thing to note about crypto security. Even if you use the safest hardware wallet, if you use it the wrong way, you will still lose all of your crypto. A hardware wallet will only protect your crypto if the person using it knows what they're doing. Kind of like a car. Cars are pretty safe as long as you know the traffic laws and how to drive them. Now, don't get me wrong, the chances of losing your crypto while using a hardware wallet are significantly lower than if you don't use one. But my point is, you can still lose your crypto even when using a hardware wallet. So here's a secret that nobody else will tell you, and how I've kept my crypto safe for the last 6 years using a hardware wallet. Now, just to be clear, and so I don't confuse anyone, I generally use the terms hardware wallet and cold wallet interchangeably. That said, you can turn your cold wallet into a hot wallet if you use it the wrong way. And this is what most people don't realize. Even though hardware wallets are meant to be kept offline, you can still connect them to the internet, and a lot of people do this to claim airdrops, buy NFTs, or swap crypto. But the moment you connect it to the internet, you're exposing it to all those same threats that the hot wallets are exposed to. Now, simply connecting your wallet to a website doesn't guarantee that you're going to get hacked. However, when you sign a crypto transaction, you're actually signing a digital contract that allows that transaction to happen. Now, scammers know this and they exploit this. So what they'll do is create a legit looking website, like something to claim a crypto airdrop or mine crypto, and then they'll create a malicious transaction in the back end. So when you sign it, what you're actually doing is giving the scammer access to the funds in your wallet. That said, there is only one way to avoid this, and this is a secret that nobody will tell you, probably because they don't even know about it. Keep your hardware wallet cold by not connecting it to any websites. I don't connect my hardware wallets to websites. I only use them to send, receive, store, and sometimes swap crypto, but I'm never connecting it to any random websites. Now, a lot of hardware wallets have built-in features that let you buy, sell, and swap your crypto directly in the companion app, and this is generally considered safe because you're usually sending that crypto to a trusted third-party app like a crypto exchange where they handle the transaction for you and then send the funds back to your wallet. This is different from signing a contract approval from your hardware wallet on some random sketchy website that could be inviting scammers into your wallet. So if you ever need to connect your crypto wallet to any website for any reason, don't use your hardware wallet where your entire crypto portfolio is stored to do this. This is where those hot wallet apps come in. Just load it with whatever amount of crypto you need for the transaction, make your transaction, and then transfer any of your funds that you want to keep safe back to your hardware wallet. But that brings us to the big question, the one that we've all been waiting for. How do you know if you need a hardware wallet, and when is the right time to get one? So my view on this hasn't really changed since I bought my first hardware wallet back in 2020, and I bought mine before I even knew how to use it. There weren't videos like this one breaking down all the details. At the time, I only had a couple $100s worth of crypto, and I read somewhere online that a hardware wallet was what you wanted if you were serious about keeping your crypto safe, and I was, so I just pulled the trigger and got one. But what made me pull that trigger was really just one simple question that you can ask yourself too to figure out if a hardware wallet is right for you, and that is, if you lost all your crypto right now because you got hacked or because the exchange you used slipped up, would you be upset? If the answer is yes, get a hardware wallet and never look back. If the answer is no, that's okay, but don't come crying to me when you lose your retirement fund or your kid's college fund because you decided not to secure your crypto properly. And yes, this actually happens. And I'm just going to be blunt about this. If you're not willing to invest a little bit of cash to get a hardware wallet to secure your crypto investment, then you shouldn't be investing in crypto. That said, most hardware wallets range anywhere from $50 upwards of $400. But does that mean you have to spend a lot of money to get the best hardware wallet? Now, there are dozens of hardware wallet brands to choose from, which can be pretty overwhelming if this is your first hardware wallet. That said, all of these wallets are built to do the same thing. So when it comes to choosing the best one, you really need to know what features to look for to find the best one for you, because there's no such thing as an overall best hardware wallet, only what's best for you. And to make choosing the right wallet even more difficult, hardware wallet marketing is on a whole other level. Throughout your research, you're going to see buzzwords like air gapped and Bitcoin only, and these are all marketed as game changers for these wallets. But in real world scenarios, these buzzwords don't actually make the wallet any more secure. They actually make them tougher to use. But what do these terms actually mean? Because they have to mean something if these wallet brands are marketing them. Well, air gap simply means that the wallet doesn't have any external forms of communications, things like a USB-C port, Bluetooth, or NFC. So instead of plugging in your wallet or using Bluetooth, it uses a micro SD card or QR codes for transactions. But just because a wallet is air gap doesn't mean that it's more secure. Malware can still be transferred through micro SD cards and QR codes. And in my opinion, air gap wallets are actually more dangerous than a non-air gap wallet, especially for beginners, because they just make things way more complicated than they have to be, and you're more likely to make a mistake when using them. Now, I'm also not a fan of Bitcoin-only wallets, mainly because I hold other cryptocurrencies besides Bitcoin, so it wouldn't make much sense for me to use a wallet that only supports Bitcoin. The big selling point for Bitcoin-only wallets is that they have less code, and the less code there is, the less potential there is for vulnerabilities. But it shouldn't matter how much code a wallet has. If the wallet is built right, then it's going to be secure no matter what. At the end of the day, these Bitcoin-only wallets are targeted at Bitcoin maxis, and there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you know that Bitcoin-only wallets aren't more secure than non-Bitcoin-only wallets, and you don't need a Bitcoin-only wallet to secure your Bitcoin. So what actually makes a good hardware wallet? And by good, I mean one that will protect your keys and is enjoyable to use, because it's not Bitcoin-only code or air-gap technology. Well, it comes down to two categories: security features and user-friendliness. Let's start with security. First is an EAL6 Plus Secure Element chip. This is the same kind of chip used in bank cards and electronic passports. Its main use is to keep the key to your wallet secure from remote and physical attacks. It's like the heart of any hardware wallet. Second, a device-specific PIN or password. This stops just anyone from picking up your wallet and accessing your crypto. Third is some sort of firmware authentication. This means the wallet checks that its software is original and hasn't been tampered with. It helps make sure your wallet is safe to use. And lastly, I think the wallet should have gone through some kind of third-party security audit. Every manufacturer does internal audits, but having an outside team check the security means the company isn't hiding anything. And then any other security features a wallet has is just a bonus in my book, as long as it doesn't make it overly complicated to use. But arguably more important than security is user friendliness. Now, this is obviously a little more subjective, so I'm just going to share what I've learned over the years that makes a wallet more enjoyable and easier to use, so that maybe you can choose the best one for your experience level. First is coin support, and this is actually a necessity. Different hardware wallets support different cryptocurrencies, so you need to make sure the one you choose actually supports the crypto you plan to manage. If it doesn't, well, that wallet literally won't work for you. Second is compatibility. Some wallets only work with phones, others with computers, and some work with both. So depending on how you want to manage your hardware wallet, you'll want one that works with your setup. And third is hardware or form factor. Even though all hardware wallets do the same thing, they're not all built the same. Some have batteries, some don't, some require a cable connection, others use Bluetooth or NFC, so it really comes down to what you prefer. But if you're still unsure after all that, I'm going to share two of my favorite hardware wallets, which also happen to be the ones that our subscribers swear by, or at least most of them, and maybe one of them is right for you. For beginners, meaning this is your first cold wallet, there's always one wallet I recommend that's easy to use and still checks all the boxes for security. This is the Tangem wallet. Notice there's no screen, no buttons, there's no battery. It's literally just a card. That's one reason why it's so easy to use. This is a mobile-only wallet, so everything is done through your phone using Tangem's companion app. The card talks to the app using NFC, which keeps your keys offline but still lets you buy, sell, swap, send, receive, and ultimately manage your crypto securely. It also has all the security features that I mentioned earlier, including a secure element chip, an access code, firmware authentication, and 2 third-party audits to ensure there are no backdoors or vulnerabilities. And that's why out of the 4 million cards Tangem has made, not a single one has been hacked. If you want to learn more about Tangem and how to use it, I've dropped my full review along with a tutorial down in the description, along with a discount code if you find that it's the right wallet for you. But maybe you prefer to use your hardware wallet with your computer. In that case, my top pick for beginners is the Ledger Flex, especially if you want something that'll work with both your phone and your computer. It is a bit fancier than Tangem with its touchscreen, and it actually walks you through the entire setup process step by step, but it is worth it. Just like Tangem, it has all the security features, a secure element chip, PIN protection, firmware authentication, and Ledger's security team is one of the best in the game. Many of the other wallet manufacturers, including Tangem, have used their security team to test their products. Now, because of the touchscreen and the long-lasting battery, the Flex does cost a bit more than Tangem, but if you want a wallet from a brand that's been leading the crypto wallet space for over 11 years, this is the one to get, and I'll drop my full review to the Flex in the description if you want to know more. But deciding if you need a hardware wallet and choosing the right one is just the first step. Knowing how to actually use it is what keeps your crypto safe, and these 11 mistakes is where most people mess up, so if you want to avoid them, check out this video. I'll see you over there. God bless.